Ladies and gents, PepperBelly here, and in this video I want to discuss what I feel has been a growing concern for me and for a lot of people regarding Rainbow Six Siege. And personally, to me, it feels like Rainbow Six Siege is a $60 free-to-play game. It feels like it. And obviously there are going to be a ton of people out there who are going to try to argue this against me, which is totally fine because everyone has their own viewpoints on how they want to look at the current situation with this game. But I personally feel that the business practices that Ubisoft is taking within Rainbow Six Siege is just not consumer friendly in the slightest. And I actually got in a conversation with somebody on the Steam forums discussing this. And this mainly pertains to the fact that every single downloadable content operator, so every operator that'll be added post-launch that's part of the DLC, costs real money, or 25,000 renown, which is the in-game currency, which essentially translates to 25 hours of gameplay. Now, I am no stranger to progression systems in games. I fully understand how they work. I understand the need for them in certain games. And usually those games are weak, because the reality is those progression systems are the only reason why you're even playing it in the first place. If a game doesn't have a progression system at all, except for maybe just a rank you acquire after a certain amount of playing, that doesn't really change anything gameplay-wise, but you keep coming back and playing it, congratulations, you have a phenomenal game. But if you need a progression system to incentivize you playing the game, then you have a problem. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about the 25 hours of gameplay it takes to acquire one post-release operator. One. A single one. Or you can shell out $5 and buy them. To me, this is a slap in the face to people who have actually purchased this game. You're charging $60 for a game, and you wait until the last possible minute to announce that you're going to have Rainbow Six credits, which is basically the in-game currency you can use to buy things like renown boosters and weapon skins, right? Which essentially is, guess what, most free-to-play title type of structures, right? That's how most free-to-play games work. You look at the store page in the game, which allows you to buy things. Rainbow Six Siege has a store page in a full retail price game. It's a little bit of a stretch, don't you think? Now, I'm not totally against that, because it's not absolutely game-breaking. It doesn't interfere with the actual gameplay in any particular way, up until now. Now I'm starting to see that, yes, it does kind of have an influence, because Ubisoft is essentially trying to force the casual players to shell out money to buy the new operators, or to buy renown boosters to gain renown so that they can purchase the operators after investing less than 25 hours, which without renown boosters, it would take about 25 hours. On the website, they've announced months ago in an article that was pretty much hidden from most people, and they never really discussed it, so it wasn't really common knowledge to everybody, that most gamers spent, on average, about 8 to 9 hours a week playing their favorite FPSs. So with that calculation in mind, they decided to make it so that it would take roughly 2 to 3 weeks to unlock a single operator from a DLC pack. Apparently a season pass isn't enough to make money on. Apparently renown boosters isn't enough to make money on. Apparently weapon skins isn't enough to make money on. Apparently buying the fucking game for $60 is not enough to make money on. So now they have to kind of raise the price of operators post-launch to be 25,000 each, which is insanely excessive because 25 hours of gameplay is insanely excessive for one operator in the game. Or you can shell out $5, which is what most people who don't have time are going to do because they don't want to invest in the grind. I'm personally grinding for them right now. I've already told you from the very beginning, all of you guys on my channel that have been watching my Rainbow Six videos, that I will not support Ubisoft. I will not give them money for a product that I am displeased in, right? Like, I didn't buy the game. It came with a headset I purchased. And even though people have either purchased the game or received the game, they're still dissatisfied with it. They don't really think it's like, it's underwhelming. It's not a really decent product worthy of a $60 price tag. And the fact that they're just kind of gouging consumers for every last cent that they could possibly get is just a further slap in the face. It screams greedy all over the place. Around the world. Everyone with a brain can see that. Anyone with some common experience in the world, common knowledge, and moral, ethical understandings will understand that what they're doing here is essentially just taking advantage of consumers. And I don't stand for it. You know, I don't like that kind of shit. That infuriates me. I don't like greed. Alright? Especially when it impacts the game. Now, as I was saying, I'm grinding for this operator because I don't want to give them money. And I've put in a ton of time, and you do get a free renown booster when you play the game for the first time. You do some situations, you play a little bit. You will eventually unlock a free renown booster. You can use it, last 24 hours. Now, unfortunately, like most games, these kind of boosters last on a 24-hour real-time clock, not 24 hours in the actual gameplay, which would be pretty great if that was the case. Some games do that, but unfortunately, more often than not, they don't. And in this case, they don't. So you got a 24-hour renown booster, which does help. It increases your renown by an additional 100 to 200 if you're lucky, which is just, that's excessive if you're lucky. Like I said, if you do really good, it's just not worth it, right? Like, why do we have to shell out a significant chunk of our time to unlock one operator? Or with the convenience we could buy for $5. So it's like they say that, oh yeah, we're gonna have all this free downloadable content in the long run. We're gonna have multiple seasons. You get a season pass, which will obviously grant you all access to every single DLC content within that one season. Which I think there's like 5 packs. You know, you got the JTF2 now, and I think we got 4 more coming, and each one has 2 special operators that come along with it. And people who bought the season pass get a week access to them in advance, and they also don't have to buy them with renown or anything. They just get the operators. So it's like, okay, you know, season pass owners, I get that. Okay, I understand. Cool. Everyone else, you're gonna have to buy it with renown or buy it with real money. Okay, well, the buying it with real money thing is kind of like, why is that even an option? You know, unless we buy the season pass, I can understand that. But the fact that we can actually purchase the operators is kind of a slap in the face to everyone else who wants to play the game, admiring Ubisoft's grand decision to make DLC free, which in reality it isn't, because all it does is incentivize and try to instill the thought in your brain to shell out more money, because the amount of renown that it requires and the amount of time required to get one operator takes fucking forever. And most people do not have the time for that. Most people will not spend money. The problem is, some will. There's a significant chunk of people who will just be like, okay, you know what? Fuck this, here's $5. I mean, I will not lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna say that even I, myself, have at times thought, you know what? It's just $5. And I think about it, and then I realize, no, I'm not gonna fucking do that, because that is just giving in to what they want. That's exactly what they want. They want you to just say, fuck it, here's $5, I can get what I want right now, because they know players are impatient, they know people are impatient, and they want to play on that. And that's a really smart business decision to make money. But is it consumer friendly? Fuck no, it isn't. It is not consumer friendly in the slightest. Let's look at another game that I cover on my channel pretty extensively. By Off-World Industries, Squat. The best game, one of the best games I've ever played. Hands down, right? This is a $40 title, you purchase it for $40. As it is right now. And when they say all future content is free, they fucking mean it. You get everything that's going to be released for the game in the future completely free. You don't have to go and use in-game currency to buy shit. Everything is unlocked for you right away. They're going to add a ton of content in the long run because, hey, the game's not even done yet. Technically, the game isn't even finished. They just allowed you to get early access. And you're paying $40 for it. So you're getting like 10 times the content for a $40 fucking price tag compared to Rainbow Six Siege, which is charging you $60 up front for the game, in addition to charging you for weapon skins, charging you for renown boosters, charging you for operators, also a season pass. Like, when is it enough? When does it end? I don't really know. Now, I don't know what to do with this. Like, there's nothing I can do except not give them money, and that's what I'm doing right now. Of course, I have to grind and grind just to get a fucking operator, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm saving up. I'm at, like, what, 17,000 renown? I still have a little bit to go to make it to 25,000 renown, which is a significant chunk of hours just to get to that point. It's excessive. It's just excessive. It's way too much. Having it at 10,000 renown, 15,000 renown max would be a lot more consumer friendly, and also removing the ability to purchase it outright unless you use the season pass. Unless you purchase the season pass, because that's just like a shortcut that screams greed all over it. It's convenient for people, but I mean, if you're gonna buy something, you might as well go all in. And the season pass is an easier way of doing that versus just paying for $5 for the, I don't know, it's just the whole thing just twists my head around and makes me kind of just not really know what to think. Even though I kind of just explained my entire thought process through this whole video. But that's just how I feel. I feel betrayed, you know? It's like, I feel like Ubisoft is playing on people's weaknesses and is taking advantage of their consumers. And then again, it's like, what company doesn't? You look at EA, same fucking thing. You know, you look at Activision, same fucking thing. All these big, major publishing companies and developers take advantage of their consumers because they know that the vast majority of them just don't give a shit. Don't really care. Don't really care about their rights. You know, back in the day, it used to be you bought this game, you got fucking everything in it, and it was a full packaged game. And if you bought expansion packs, which is what they used to be called. Remember that? They were called expansion packs because they actually added on a huge chunk of content for about half the price of the retail product, which was actually good. And now we're getting full games, cost full price, and then we're getting tiny little pieces of DLC that cost about 20% of the retail product, which is just what the fuck. And when you add it all up, it's over, you're paying like fucking $200 plus for everything. It's just, it's retarded. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's gone too far. The gaming industry is fucking saddening right now. What people are doing, what these companies are doing. I understand it's a business. I understand you need to make money, but not like this. Like, holy shit, not like this. How come other indie developers can do things similar that is way more consumer friendly, but massive ass companies can't? Again, it's different because you got indie studios, which are smaller and are focused on themselves, versus corporations that actually have to deal with, you know, a bunch of different branches within the actual fucking hierarchy of their stupid ass corporation. The whole point is, it's not consumer friendly and people fucking hate it. And people despise you for it. You know, you look at EA, who was voted worst company in America twice in a fucking row. What does that tell you? Ubisoft should be right up there beside them. You know, according to me right now, like, this is ridiculous. This is utterly ridiculous. There's a lot of people that complain and bitch about this whole fucking thing, and I'm one who finally, I just need to put my foot down and at least vent. I feel like I need to vent on what this is now. Like, not only is Rainbow Six a complete bait and switch from what it was advertised as and what they said it was going to be, and now it's the game design is completely different from what we expected, and now they're kind of nickel and diming us over and over and over again. Because, hey, fuck it, we want money, right? Give us your money. Oh, you don't have time to play the game? Fuck you, give us money, and then you can get all the things you want. Or, you can have absolutely no life, play no other games, do absolutely nothing else, and invest 25 fucking hours just to get one item. One item, and then, of course, we're gonna have like 18 more items, and then you gotta fucking spend another 25 hours per each of those fucking items. It's just ridiculous, right? Like I said, it's excessive. It's absolutely ridiculous. I understand the prices need to be bumped up for the new operators, because they're obviously new operators, and obviously they want to incentivize buying the season pass, but allowing you to buy it for $5 kind of is like a middle finger to people who have the season pass as well. The whole thing is just ridiculous, and Ubisoft needs to really reconsider they're not going to, though. I don't even know why I'm saying that. They need to reconsider their whole business strategy, but they're not going to, because they don't give a shit, because apparently it's fucking working, because they're getting away with it. And so are a whole bunch of other corporations and businesses that are fucking doing it. And it sickens me, and I fucking hate it. And that's why I keep saying that indie companies are pretty much going to save the industry. You know, the entire industry, while all these big companies become like money hoarding, delivering us half-assed fucking products, indie developers are going to create us better products for cheaper and continue to do so. Like, I look at Squad. Squad is fucking phenomenal. It's a prime example of like a very successful title in its infancy. And it's doing very well, and it's going to continue to do well, and I'm looking forward to seeing the final product in the end, where essentially everyone who put $40 in right now gets it, without paying a dime, without paying a penny more. But unfortunately, it looks like only indie companies will be allowed or be able to do that, while everyone else will continue to fuck the consumers in the ass. My name's been PepperBelly. Thank you guys for joining me today on this angry rant. Kind of. Anyway, whatever. And I'll see you guys on the next one.